All right, back here with Captain Marty. Going to hear another one of his great stories. And we've heard the story about the Catwoman. We've heard the story about Fred from
Liverpool, England.
Yes, in Liverpool, England.
The ghost of Fred.
The ghost of Fred. Now, Marty, you have to have gone to some sort of like Halloween parties or something, didn't you? What about that?
Well, we're back in the clock, way back. But most everybody kind of around here, this is a Halloween place. People love to have Halloween parties. And they're all in good fun.
Right.
But I have a story that I'll never forget, and I'll be back to tell it in just a moment.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
The desire for being on the water is what draws people to the Outer Banks. OBX Boat Company in Kill Devil Hills shares that desire with you. The only full-service Yamaha authorized dealer on the beach, OBX Boat Company is committed to providing you the best possible boat ownership experience. Their carefully selected brands of center consoles and family-friendly pontoon boats are all powered by ultra-reliable Yamaha motors. They offer excellent financing options as well. To learn more and see their inventory, visit obxboatco.com.
So, Justin, many years ago, and I could not even tell you the year. It would have been around, well, I get close. It's been like 1981 or 2.
Okay.
And I was a mate on the Fighting Lady, the legendary Fighting Lady with Captain Sam Stokes. I followed in the footsteps of John Bayliss, the legendary boat builder, who had been the mate on the Fighting Lady and had gotten Ricky Scarborough to build him the original Tar Heel.
Okay.
He and I were roommates in Mother Vineyard down in Manio. We lived on the third floor apartment at Dr. Stoutenberg's house down there by Byron Sawyer and other people. Our friends called it the Stairway to Heaven, jokingly, but we were young, we were single, we had a lot of fun. Well, that same year, I also had both of my sisters were here working at the fishing center. They had rented this great big old house in Mans Harbor, 2-story house, and it was a big live oaks out in the yard. It was a homestead type of house.
Okay.
That was unrented, so they rented it way, way more house than the two of them needed. And through the summer, there were little get-togethers and soirees over there.
All right.
But they said, we need to have a Halloween party. And we're all like, yeah, because look at the weather. It looks like it's going to blow on the night after Halloween, so we could have a lot of fun and not have to worry about it. It looked like a really good cold front,
Okay.
So in 3 or 4 days, everybody went into action with costumes and planning. And my sisters could throw a party, still can for that matter. So I had a motorcycle, a dirt bike. John Bayliss and I we were roommates, and we both had dirt bikes. And Captain Chuck Mosley, who at the time was a mate, he wanted to borrow my dirt bike. He wanted to go to the party as Evel Knievel. And he needed a motorcycle. No problem. It's going to blow 25. Let's go have fun. Alan Foreman, Big Al, went as one of the 2 Superman that went to the party in store-bought Superman outfits.
Oh, Lord.
And
I can see Big Al Foreman in a Superman costume.
And you had to know it sagged off of his body. He just couldn't fill it up, He was one of 2. The other one, you also know, Ronnie Cavanaugh was the other Superman.
Oh, my gosh.
We had 2 Supermen.
Supermen.
Same thing. The 2 scrawniest, skinniest guys in the fleet.
Yes, my gosh.
It was really funny. I decided, I went down to when Ben Franklin was right down here on the waterfront. I went and bought a Halloween makeup kit, and I decided to go as the Incredible Hulk.
Oh!
So, I painted my face green with the green makeup, and then I got a wig and teased my hair out a little bit, kind of like part my hair and part the wig, and tore my shirt up and stuffed like an undershirt full of muscles. And
okay.
I went as the Incredible Hulk, and John Bayliss couldn't think of nothing to be, so he got a big shock of sewage hair that was 18 inches long. That's what we used to make our own lures out, but it's
Right.
one. Can you picture that? 18
Yeah,
inches
yeah.
long. And he just went as like Cousin It, but with pink hair. It was pink. And he wore dark glasses and long pink hair. And those were just some of the costumes. Got to the party and the trees, we kept looking up and those trees were whipping back and forth. We're like, man, what great timing. You know?
Yes.
Keep in mind, I'm a mate with one of the toughest captains in the fleet. John is a captain on his own boat. So, but we were roommates. The party started, they had dipping, what do you call it, dunking for apples?
Yeah, bobbing for apples.
Bobbing for apples, thank you. Well, Chuck Mosley, a.k.a. Evil Knievel, he borrowed my helmet. It was an open face helmet. And all of a sudden we hear this motorcycle come tearing down the path. And here he comes with a cape flying in the wind as Evil Knievel. He runs right up to that barrel, hops off the motorcycle wearing my helmet, sticks his head in there and catches him an apple. And I thought, we are going to have a great night. I mean,
Yes.
the costumes were really good. Well, the night went on. The libations really went on.
Okay.
And man, we were just having fun. The food was great. Somebody had cooked a pig. And about midnight, I kept looking up at those trees and wait a minute, they don't seem like they're blowing as much as they were blowing at 10 o'clock, you know. And I said, John, I don't know. Them trees don't look like they're moving like they should be, you know. And he said, yeah, I know. Maybe we probably ought to head on home. So like, well, we'll head on home. Let's give another hour. So about 1:30 in the morning, he and I decided we better get home. So we went back across the bridge to Manio. And that's when I realized I'd made a horrible mistake. And I'll continue the story with what my horrible mistake was when we come back.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
So as you know, the horrible mistake. Men are not very good at following instructions or reading directions, right?
No.
Would you agree?
I agree.
So if I'd read the directions, I would have read the part where it said, before you put the green makeup on your face, put cold cream underneath. Put a layer of cold cream so that you can get the green makeup off your face
Oh, Lord.
at the end of your party or whatever, you know. So I get home, I'm like, I don't know, Sam, no, we hadn't canceled the charter. Sam had left it open. So did John. It wasn't the type of deal like nowadays. They'll call the night before and say, don't come at all. So in other words, we were on call is a way you could think of that. And I went in the bathroom. I was trying to get that green face paint off my face, and it wouldn't come off at all. Then I looked at my hair. I teased my hair out. I'm like, how do you untease your hair? Couldn't untease my hair, so I had a green face teaser. John, he wasn't feeling good. I think the flu had overcome him quickly that night.
Okay,
you know?
yeah. That flu.
All I looked in the bathroom one time, all I saw was that he still had that pink hair pinned to his head.
Oh, gosh.
And he was not looking too good. So finally, we laid down for like an hour and got up. And I thought, first thing I did was look out the window. The trees weren't moving at all.
Yeah.
So I got in my 280ZX. So for you young people, you call them Nissans now, but they were called Datsuns. And that was a hot chick mobile.
Okay.
It was a 280Z, had a wing on the back. It was really bad automobile. Everyone else in the fleet had trucks. Not me. I'd throw a deer on the whale tail on that thing in a heartbeat and go deer hunting. But going down there to the fishing center. So naturally, when you pull up to the old original building, well, it's not really the original, but when you pull up to the curb,
right,
there's that porch raised up and there's a railing along it. And all the people that did not go to the Halloween party, I guess you would say the older, more mature captains, were looking at that wind falling out. And they're like, there are going to be some hurting people here this morning. When I drove up, my captain and Mike Merritt, Omi Tillett, Tony Tillett, they were all sitting up there on the rail having coffee, trying to decide whether this was a fitting day to go fishing or not. When I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is looking like a fishing day. Pulled up to the curb. It was a 5-speed stick shift. My foot slipped off the clutch, and it jumped the curb and went through the lattice work up to the windshield of the porch of the fishing center. Knocked everybody's coffee down on my windshield. That's when I got out of the car, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Sam's like, get your ice. Now, when the captain tells you to get your ice, That means we're no longer debating whether we're going fishing. We are going fishing.
We're going. There's no
Go
talking
to the
about it.
ice house and get your ice for the day. And I know good and well he did it just to teach me a lesson, you know. Charter was really salty and they wanted to go. That day, only 2 boats went fishing in the fleet. One was the Fighting Lady with the Incredible Hulk as mate, with a green face and teased hair and not feeling very good at all. The other boat was the Tar Heel.
Oh, okay.
John, he had every bit in his control to say, guys, we'll do it another day. But they wanted to go, and they asked him, is anybody else going? And they said, well, the Fighting Lady is. John said, well, he told his mate, get your ice.
Get your ice.
So we got out there, and it was too rough to go off to the Gulf Stream, and we went to the 65-degree tower, which is only 15 miles off the beach, and we circled that tower all day long, and we would catch one big bluefish per circle. The Tar Heel was over on one side, and we were on the other. And that thing, I don't know if you've ever been around, but they beep. They beep really loud. Man, all day long, I was sweating it. And then, I don't know how to finish this story up today, but to tell you, it was not only was it the longest fishing day of my life, it was actually the longest day of my life, period. Because what happened was, and I want to be careful how I say this, but we had 6 people in the charter, and one of them I hadn't noticed for a while. I saw where he had gone down below. So as the mate, it's your job to go down there and check on people if they go in the head or the marine toilet and don't come out. And I went down there, and boy, I wasn't feeling very good at all having to go down below decks. But I did find him in the toilet, and it was not a good scene. And so we always had a deal on our charter boats. If somebody got in the bathroom and messed it up, and we'll leave it at that, no matter how they messed it up, so that both the captain and the mate would keep an eye on that, we took turns cleaning it up. So one time, if the head was ruined, the mate would go clean it up so it's usable for everybody else, especially if you have women on the boat.
Right.
The next time the head got messed up, it would be the captain's job to go down and clean up the head. I'm talking about out at sea.
Yeah.
You know? So this day, I knew it was Sam's turn to clean the head because I'd just done it a week earlier. I said, Sam, it's bad down there. It's your turn to clean the head. He said, nope, I cleaned it the last time. So he purposely made me clean that. And all I remember was I got the job done. I got the man out. We took his clothes off and threw him over the side. And
Lord.
Washed him down with a water hose, wrapped him up in a blanket. And that's how he got off the boat. But I do remember when we finally got to the dock that day, I went in and I went home and just put a wet towel across my forehead and thought, lesson learned, I'll never do that again. And who amongst our listeners, probably quite a few have been in that same situation, but that truly was a Halloween to remember.